So much power here for you to exercise. Hey y'all, welcome to Meryl's Mystic. I'm Meryl and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves because you are the one that you've been looking for. And today we are here to talk about the Pisces new moon. Now, the Pisces new moon is taking place the morning of Wednesday, March 2nd. And that will be kind of later in the morning, starting at around 9:40, just before 9:38 Pacific time, 10:38 Mountain Time, 11:38 Central Time, and afternoon, actually, by the time we get to the East Coast. So keep in mind too that during Pisces season, the energy is strong. And so even if you're watching this and it's been like a week or so since the Pisces new moon, that's okay. Trust that these messages come to you when you are supposed to hear them, despite what the timing might be, okay? You can always tap into the energy of the moons. There's a whole oracle deck about it. There are a couple, and we'll actually be pulling from one of those today. We are using the Modern Witch Tarot by Lisa Sterle, and then we will be pulling a Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. All right. Take some deep breaths with me while I shuffle in your nose, out your mouth. Make them audible if you need to. I always have to make some noises before I start recording. Get those vocal cords going. Oh, those two just kind of popped off the top. And then I'm actually going to shuffle once more. So we will look at what the general energy is bringing us, because these are, general. So if any of the messages don't resonate with you, just leave them there for the next person. Make sure you go watch the general energy reading for Pisces season. That includes a moon card reading because Pisces is represented by the moon in the tarot. And that's why this Pisces new moon energy messages is a little more special, and you can tap into it whenever you need it. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. And then we'll keep going. Okay, interesting. Different energy coming in than for Pisces season. So I'm excited to see how this might be balancing out the energy that Pisces season was bringing. And a lot of that Pisces season energy coming in is about this pattern of feeling your feelings or letting yourself feel your emotions within water seasons. You'll see a lot of astrologists say that, especially during Pisces season. And in this Pisces season specifically is like feeling your wins. And now we're coming to this Pisces new moon. So the first energy, the general energy, and I feel like it might be these first two cards in general because since they came out together, it's the Six of Pentacles in reverse and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And I like that these came out together. So let's talk about them together. So first, individually, the Six of Pentacles is all about that give and take of energy, especially how that presents itself in the physical world. And I like on this Modern Witch Tarot where the representative of the Six of Pentacles is really gifting some other figures gifts, and it's a little updated. I mean, Modern Witch, but I feel like it's a little more, it's showing more of the positive side of this energy, because a lot of the times this can come up when you are, especially with it in reverse, when you are giving more than you're getting, or perhaps taking more than you're giving. And I just noticed that her earrings are also hearts on here. So And 6 is a nurturing number. So I feel like there is something about us wanting to remember the nurturing side of this, and that there is something important happening of, there's a reason why self-care has become a hashtag and a movement, and also why, it can get muddied up, the messaging. It's because we so desperately need it. Because we, especially as women, I'm speaking to women, and femmes, we are, as women and femmes, part of a marginalized group, and are taught to take care of everybody else first. So that really feel like, when I said it could be one or the other, it really does feel like the usual, giving more than you're getting, but specifically for yourself, it's like, and with this Page of Pentacles here in reverse, it is telling me there's like a need for structure, a need for boundaries, and that you need to recognize that there's a certain power within you that you might not be exercising the way that you should be, or could be for yourself. And I'm laughing because I just heard them say you have nobody to blame but yourself, unfortunately. If this is speaking to you, if you're feeling exhausted, if you're feeling run ragged, if you're feeling too stretched thin, not that other people don't need you, but there is this recognition of where it roots from, where that feeling roots from, where the situation roots from, where these exchanges of energy and time and money are coming from. It roots, the root of it is within you. And there is, you hear all the time about people, my yes year, I said yes to everything. There's a whole movie about the yes man. And I truly believe that there is actually more power in no a lot of the time, especially if you're a people pleaser. Hi. Welcome to the club. I should start like a reform people pleasers support group, because I think a lot of it stems from a level of trauma also, of needing to be needed at too young of an age, and then you become extremely empathetic or empathic because you are so aware of other people's emotions because you were needed. And so then it creates this feeling in you that you feel it, that later on in life, your feeling of wholeness comes from a feeling of being needed. And I feel like that paradigm is really shifting in a lot of people, and it's hard to figure out where to go. Where are we going? Page of Wands. That Page of Wands, it's my buddy. It comes up a lot. We're going somewhere. We're gonna get there no matter what. It might take some time. You might not get there in the way that you think you will, but we're gonna get someplace with this. And you're because where you're really trying to get is establishing a foundation of the self-care, going beyond the little bits of time that you find for yourself here and there, and out into the world, really. This is taking your self-care from what you can do for yourself at home and take it out into the world. And that means establishing boundaries of when you feel like you're being pulled too many times, between too many things. And then they're telling me to talk about the discernment of the Pisces energy on top of that, because there's this need for discernment between what you need to do, what you want to do, and what you absolutely don't want to do. And then there's this gray area that keeps popping up of things that you should be doing for yourself, but are convincing yourself that you don't have the time, it's too frivolous, it's selfish. There's these things like, for example, story time, y'all. You know how I love story time? It's because they're constantly like being like, yeah, you have an example for this. I wish, I'm like, I need to stop talking about myself. And they're like, no, you need to tell your stories. So sorry. Just last weekend, my mom signed us up to do like it was like one of those sipping and painting, drinking and painting things, which I'm sure there are ones that do it without the alcohol. I've been to ones that do it without the alcohol, just like group painting things. And it was a paint your pet. And so we got to send in pictures of our pet, and they sketch them lightly on the canvases, and then we get to decide how to paint them. And they turned out really cool, and you can go look at that on my Instagram, because we were all very proud of ourselves. And I was sitting there and just so enjoying it, way more than I thought I would, and sitting between my mom and my partner, and we were all relaxed. And I think we were a little bit up there when we got there, and then when we finally settled into it, we had such a good time. And looking back in the couple weeks leading up to it, I kept convincing myself, or I shouldn't even say it's these limiting beliefs that kept coming up, telling me, why are you doing this? How much stuff do you have on your plate right now? How many endless to-do lists do you have? How many things, all these reasons that my negative self-doubt could think of to get me to not go to something for the pure enjoyment of it. When in fact, I needed that pure enjoyment moment for just a few hours of being present, of not checking my phone, of exercising my creativity. So that's why I'm saying, like, these are those things that you need to do for the wholeness of your soul, to remind you why you're grinding, why you're hustling in every other part of your life. And so you have to make space for that. You have to make space for that. And I like the High Priestess is coming up here also, is the next one. And then looking under her is the Magician. So we have both of our, like, besides the Strength card, our magical major arcanas are coming up. So now we're getting serious. So now these are serious reasons why this is happening. And the tools that you have. Look at all the tools you have. I hardly ever see these two come up together. And they're right next to each other. In Major Arcana, the Magician's number 1, the High Priestess is number 2. So much power here for you to exercise. The Magician uses all the elements that are visible, and some invisible ones, but you can see that all the elements of water, fire, earth, and air are represented around them. And then the High Priestess is connected to the ether and to a deeper understanding of your intuition and your purpose and your place. And the Magician is helping you use all of these tools to have a balanced life. You have all of this capability. So it's really about figuring out how to use it. So how? What is our how? 4 of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands in reverse. So there's like some, now we're getting serious. Now it's getting more serious. Because we have this, like, this mission, this need for this structure and foundation and boundary and power, and to really stand in that power and own that power and exercise it without questioning yourself, exercising it without judgment against yourself, no matter what other people think of why you have to say no to this or that, or what your reasoning is. Doesn't matter. It's your reasoning. These are just more structure cards. This Four of Pentacles in reverse, it could go two ways. You could be either being way too restrictive in life, or you could be being way too loose. And with everything going on up here, like there's this like reversal of this risk of going backwards within the structure that you have been establishing for yourself over the last few seasons. So it does feel kind of like this, like more like a shit ass, just like whatever anybody needs you to do, I'll do it. Whatever this is going on, like there's this need of delegation of what absolutely needs to get done right now and what can wait. There is a differentiation, and I think if you wrote those things down, you would see that, oh yeah, maybe I really only need to these are only the things that have to get done today. These things, yes, they need to get done, but is the world gonna end, or is the ball gonna get dropped if I don't do these things today? It's like the laundry can be put off another day. And then I saw this really great thing from Abraham Hicks, that if you make the one list of everything that you absolutely have to get done, and I usually do that one in pen, and then in pencil, you write the everything else for spirit. All the things that need to get done, but you really don't have time right now, and you know, they'll get done when they get done, sort of thing. And it's a cool experiment to see what kind of the things on your spirit list, to-do list, what things just kind of end up working out on their own and get done on their own. Okay. Like I have done this before, and I probably need to do it again because I have so much going on right now. I'm trying really hard not to, and I need this message too, because I need the no's also. I speak from experience. But I've done that experiment before, and in the middle of me doing these things that had to be done, there were like certain phone calls that need to be made like within the week or so on there. Those people started calling me. So then I could just take care of it right then and there. Like a little bit more intention and structure, just a tiny bit more, sets you up for success, sets you up to then it's like a practice. Boundaries are a practice. Structure is a practice. It's not something that you're just going to put in place and then you're just going to use it every day and it's just going to be great and everything. My life is fixed. I wish y'all should see how many systems I try to put in place for myself all the time, and it's a constant circle back, especially if you're neurodivergent. It's constant circle back, and you have to just give yourself some grace. Okay? And write a new to-do list. Because then the Five of Wands is that internal struggle, that place that you're going to. So I feel like this how is like, how are you going to turn this stuff around? And really it's to stop listening to all those negative limiting beliefs in your mind. And you're like that voice in your head that's like telling you like, I don't know if you can do this, or that don't do that, like so-and-so are gonna judge you, or it's really selfish, or can you really afford that? It's a lot of noise. Once you kind of realize that a lot of the thoughts that you have in your mind are just like random, and that you have the power to change how you're thinking, there's so much shift in that. So this is about too, what do you do instead? What do you replace those thoughts, those limiting beliefs with instead? Well, it's really individual what your positive affirmations are. And one of my friends who's a coach, and her mentors with Wildly Alive, they teach this. They call it Remind to Rewind. Yeah. Rewire. Excuse me. Remind to Rewire, where you figure out what you want. You write these things out in present tense, as if it's happening, or it's already happened, or you've already received it, or you're already doing it. You can put them in your phone and set timers to go off at certain types of the day to just be like, hey, remember, you're doing good. You're doing enough. You are enough. I have one that goes off like at 10 o'clock at night, and it's like, don't you want to be rested and relaxed for your day tomorrow? Shouldn't you probably go to bed soon? I'm like, yeah. So it's finding kind of some things that fit for you, that resonate with you, that remind you like, I'm doing okay. I'm enough. I am enough. And if you need help figuring yours out, please reach out to me. I love helping people figure those kind of things out. Because you have all the power. There's so much power centralized here in these two figures. And it just feels kind of like they're like, why are you being so silly? Why are you being silly and not, not recognizing the power that you have? I just feel like there's this like, who me, little old me from some of you. Like, I can't put myself out there and do that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. That is the negative self-talk that we're talking about. What is... Ooh, here it is. Fear. Fear. That is... I wonder, can you see that? My light's kind of messing it up today. There we go. I've never pulled this one before. That is a very cool card. The fear. Fear is keeping you trapped. Make sure you go watch your tarot scopes for your moon, your sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign. I think 8 out of 4 are out right now. So the other ones should be out soon. Oh, this is card number 11. Very powerful number. Fear. The time for courage is here. Fear is only useful if it teaches you something. You must examine whether your fears are old or new, useful or unhelpful. Fear blocks flow. Your affirmation, which this is a short one, so this might be a good one to use as your replacement thoughts. I am courageous. I am courageous. I am capable. I am enough. I love myself. Keep it going. If there is one thing that stops people from fulfilling their dreams or even getting things done that they want done, it is fear. Experiencing fear is built in, a chemical part of the way our brain works to protect us. Emotions such as fear cause the production of a whole raft of body chemicals that gives us the best chance of coping with situations that need our attention to survive. There's a healthy kind of fear, the kind that warns us to keep out of a dangerous situation or stay clear of someone who instinctively makes us wary. However, it would be a rare person who does not have at least one fear that does not serve them. A fear that is unrealistic or untrue, or perhaps based on an outmoded experience or something that is buried so deeply we see only the symptoms rather than the fear itself, and that is PTSD. Most fears have been formed with the positive intent of protection. We need to separate the intention out and deal with it in a more resourceful and less destructive way if we are to create ease and flow in our lives. Fear has many names. Covert ones are envy, jealousy, codependence, procrastination, bullying, people-pleasing, disconnection. More overt ones are avoidance, fear of failure, or fear of success. There is, however, a kind of antidote to fear, and it is courage. Fear will put up an initial resistance to courage, but it has no real long-term power against it. While we can be fearful and courageous at the same time, and I think courage contains a mighty big dose of fear, we can choose to face that fear and flow through it until we fear less and then eventually become fearless. The process isn't always graceful. It isn't always impressive because it may be slow and deliberate steps we take. Taking these steps isn't always easy, an understatement. It isn't always apparent to others, so it should be about us measuring how far we have come and not worrying about what anyone else thinks. Comparison is useless. Courage is powerful no matter what form it takes. Companion stone, aquamarine. I am courageous. You are courageous, especially the world we are living in right now. If you are able to get up most days and function like a human, you are already being courageous. So it's time to recognize that you are already using the powers and gifts that you have so you can use them for other things that you want to, okay? Thank you, y'all. Thanks for being here. Let me know what resonated with you. Let me know if you have any questions. I would love to connect with you in a private session. And speaking of that, I am offering 22% off right now my private sessions with the coupon code WINTER22. All the links are attached. Please be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with a friend, go watch your tarot scopes, go watch the general energy reading. Thank you again. And I will see you very soon, probably for the next full moon in Virgo. Bye.